Yo, what's up, everybody? This is the 77th edition of the Countdown, where me and a couple buddies, one or two, will talk about something usually involving the world of movies. Sometimes we step out of that, but we are talking about movies this episode because we are at the halfway mark. So the last episode, me and Brandon talked about our favorite TV shows of the year so far. Now going to the cinema world or streaming at home and talking about our favorite films of the year so far. Up until now, it's only July 4th, so up until about right now. So I'm here with two people. You usually see them, kind of the usual cats for the best and the worst of lists here. I'd like to talk about some of our favorite films and then tune in next time for things we didn't quite like. But we're talking good stuff to say. What's up, Pez?
No. Thanks for having me, JPO. As always, had fun doing this last year, and yeah, we'll have some fun this year. I think it's again, if you dig beyond maybe some of the tentpole stuff, and I do have some of the tentpole stuff on my list, but if you dig beyond that, I still think it's been a pretty solid year for movies so far. So yeah, thumbs up here so far. I've had a lot more positives than negatives.
Yeah, I mean, I find my 10, I don't know if my 10 will last. I think my top 3 to 5 might, definitely my 3 maybe. But I also do like what I have so far. So it'll be interesting to see what bounces out at the end of the year. But we've got our third man here. It's Richard, the best good anchor.
Hey, going good. I like doing these lists. I think it's been a great year for movies. So, and yeah, I'm interested to see how much it will change come January or late December when we do
January.
January.
I went for the year to finish.
January. That makes more sense. When you think about it,
It's like I waited for June to finish when we started in July.
Yeah. I think that there's definitely like two or three that may hold, but we'll see. There's still the ones we got here are pretty good. So yeah.
Right. And we'll just start off with the honorable mentions to get those out of the way. Pez, what's you like but didn't quite make your 10 so far?
Yeah, no, and usually like 5, right, JPO? So I'll bring you 5. They're just outside
basically
of
11
there,
to 15, ranked or unranked.
yeah, but stuff that still gets a big thumbs up from me that I very much enjoyed. Black Bag, very smart thriller. From the very like adult, made for adults, just a smart screenplay. Just a nice little puzzle thriller, not too long as well, like 90 minutes. Soderbergh gets in and out, which I appreciate. But yeah, good performances. I enjoyed it. The Monkey, which I thought was a lot of fun in kind of a Final Destination sort of way. Nice little twist on it. Nice expansion of the Stephen King story. And yeah, a crazy sense of humor that I didn't really expect, but a nice dark sense of humor that I very much enjoyed. Speaking of Final Destination Bloodlines, I really enjoyed as well. I appreciate that it kind of stuck to the classic Final Destination formula, but still putting a nice twist on it with it dealing with this extended family rather than kind of a group of strangers. So I appreciated that. Has some creative kills, and it's just kind of what I wanted. And we waited a long time for another Final Destination movie, but I thought it did a good job. 28 years later, I very much enjoyed. I know it's kind of divisive and controversial right now, but I think if you went into it, looking back on it, I enjoyed that it took a different turn, and it shouldn't be exactly like an Outbreak movie because it's 28 years later from the initial thing. It's just more about this lived-in quarantine world and how people are getting along and some of the wacky stuff that's going on. So, but I appreciated the dramatic stuff and the performances as well. And then Drop, I think Christopher Landon nailed it again. I really enjoyed, the mystery kind of thriller aspect of it, the whodunit stuff. It's another like one location thriller, which I'm inclined to really like, mostly taking place in this one little restaurant. Speaking of like high-rise restaurants, Final Destination had one, kind of a club restaurant thing. Drop has one kind of way up in the sky.
It was a good year and a bad year because I wouldn't want to go to one right now.
Like, no, I would not go to one because a lot of bad things are happening in those high-rise little clubs and restaurants. But I still very much enjoyed it, and I like it's Hitchcockian in its construction of just kind of keeping you on your toes, keeping you guessing, and using technology in a positive way, putting the text on the screen, and she's trying to navigate around. I just thought it was great, and I thought the two leads had great chemistry. So those are my 5 just outside the top 10. JPO.
Richie, what you got for honorable mentions?
I may have just added one because I forgot while he was talking.
You're bad at Letterboxd. How did you forget a movie?
I know. This is totally natural. I totally had this on my list before. Honorable mention, Drop. Definitely. Drop is really good. I really like Yeah, I really like the guy that was.
You're driving.
You're dropping. You're muffled. You got to get closer or something if you can.
Okay.
Yeah, you're kind of going underwater. Yeah.
I really
Yeah,
like that
there you
guy.
go.
I don't know what I don't know his name, but he's probably going to be in a lot of other stuff. He's in With Us, and he's good in this movie as well. But yeah, it's just great movie building tension. I've got Karate Kid Legends.
Brendan
Yeah.
Splinter.
What do you say?
I'll just give you the guy's name. Yeah, Brendan Splinter from It Ends With Us.
Oh, okay, sorry. Karate Kid Legends. I really enjoyed it. I think Ben Wang. I think he's going to be like a sort of breakout
He's
star.
going to be in the Long Walk as well later this summer. That competition.
Oh yeah, I can see that now in the trailer.
Yeah, he's in the trailer. Yeah, for a second, so he's in there too. So he's having a good summer. Yeah,
he's also one of the rumored names to be in that wacky Street Fighter cast.
I can see that.
Yeah, so which Karate Kid Legends was definitely had Street Fighter vibes to it as well. Dangerous Animals, Jai Courtney having fun being a villain with sharks. That was fun. The Day the Earth Blew Up, the Looney Tunes one, a lot of fun. I liked watching 2D animation theaters for all, finally that was great. And Death of a Unicorn, great movie, a lot of fun. Will Poulter's having fun. That was good. And then my last one, not least, is Novocaine, or as Australia would call it, Novocaine, no pain for some reason. But Jack Quaid had a good year, and that was a really fun movie. All right.
Mm-hmm.
How
about you, JPO? What are some of your honorable mentions, JPO?
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna piggyback. I think off of three of you guys so far, or three of my picks. Karate Kid Legends on the cusp here. I did enough fun with that here. Joshua Jackson's in it. Did you guys know that?
You wouldn't know it from the trailers, but yeah, he has a prominent role in that movie.
Finalization Bloodlines, as you said, it's been a minute, and they came back with kind of what we wanted, so I enjoyed that one here. More of a recent watch for me, Freaky Tales. I enjoyed from the team that brought things like Little Miss Sunshine, but this one has a basketball player that kills lots of people with swords and other little tiny tales in it as well. So I enjoyed that one. Novocaine, as just mentioned here, Jack Quaid having a banger year, really good as a lead guy here. And then I have The Accountant 2 right outside of my list. Got to give some props to my boy Ben Affleck, and a really good follow-up to the first one here with Gavin O'Connor returning to directing. There's some honorable mentions there. I know in the chat too we had Brian mentioned Karate Kid Legends, Day the Earth Blew Up, Companion, One of Them Days, and Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning. Chris Diaz threw out The Ugly Stepsister, Warfare, Thunderbolts, Novocaine, and Paddington in Peru. I know me and Pez, we got to watch that Paddington movie. He loves Paddington, so
that damn bear. Not gonna happen.
Is that your number 10, Pez?
No, it's not in my top 10. I didn't watch it. I'm not going to watch that movie.
I know you didn't.
That damn bear. No, I didn't watch it. But if you'd like to know my real number 10 is, I'll give it to you. My number 10 is Friendship, the Tim Robinson comedy. I very much enjoyed Friendship. Had a good theater experience with it. We had a very strong theater. Like, it was in kind of a smaller screen theater, but it was pretty full, and you could tell the people in our crowd were like ready for the style of comedy that he puts out there. The movie's very absurdist in its situations and whatnot, and its human interactions, and it plays almost like a series of sketches and skits, kind of little mini ones with a thread going through with his family. But just if you love like awkward comedy and just weird situational comedy, I think you'll dig it if you like Tim Robinson, or if you've never been introduced to him but you want to see it. Again, Paul Rudd, I think, is having an interesting year, because between this and Death of the Unicorn, he's playing kind of new, different roles, and I'm enjoying that. He's not just playing kind of the, shy, awkward best friend or something like that. He's playing, a little bit of darker characters here, and I think he has good chemistry there. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed Friendship. I laughed a lot, and it's been a while since we've had just like a really solid comedy. I can't remember last time. I don't know if any comedies made my list last year at all, or there may have been movies of funny moments, but it was nice to get a nice mature kind of fun comedy in here. So yeah, Friendship I very much enjoyed. So it just scratched into my top 10. But like you, JPO, maybe my top 4 or 5 will probably hang around till the end of the year. I don't know about these later ones. I'll probably end up getting knocked into that honorable mention territory by the end of the year. Kind of similar to my worst of list every year. But still wanted to give it a shout out here halfway through the year. So yeah, Friendship with Tim Robinson. I very much enjoyed it.
Yeah, but my little theater didn't have it. It's still $20 to rent on VOD, so 100% something I will see as soon as I can.
Yeah.
It's a little cheaper. Richie, what you got at number 10?
As I say, this is not out. Friendship's not out yet. It's been a couple of weeks. I'm looking forward to it. I love Tim Robinson.
I'm glad someone's on. I talked about it.
Yeah. Fair enough. My number 10, we talked about it a few times. Final Destination: Bloodlines. Final Destination: Bloodlines. My 10. A lot of we waited a lot. The last one came out 2011.
2011. Yeah, it's been a long time.
I was wondering if we were going to get one. I like where they took it, and they did something different, and it still provided what I want from a Final Destination movie. Memorable kills, a great, interesting overarching storyline. It was, cool to see, I'm glad that Tony Todd was able to, film this before he has sadly passed. But it was, but it's a fun ride, and I really enjoy it, and I'm hoping we see more of these. It's just one of my favorite franchises, and I'm glad, usually by the 6th one, it might go downhill. I'm glad we've only really got one dud in the franchise, which is the 4th one. So I'm glad this paid off and was really quite good.
Yeah, a lot of people showing a little bit of love to it. Coming in at my number 10 here. Hey, have we talked about Jack Quaid yet? I got a companion coming in at my number 10. I dug the of course setup here. I also love the trailer too. The people that brought to the Notebook, and you do see a really fun meet cute between them. Then later on, there's some fun revelations too about what actually is going on between him and of course the I don't know if I want to say robot or something at the core. She has a great performance here. A big fan too of Harvey Guillén from What We Do in the Shadows. He's got a fun little supporting part here, and just a fun almost again just like a Bad Day, another Bad Day movie, kind of set up all in one, really bad, weekend. I guess maybe more of a weekend afternoon kind of as well. So, but it is indeed one kind of very bad. Some people in the comments give him some shout out to Brian mentioning Thunderbolts is at his 10. Carter throwing out some stuff like Final Destination: Bloodlines again, Predator, Killer of Killers, Friendship, Wedding Banquet, Mickey 17.
Really need to watch Predator, that movie.
And then How to Train Your Dragon for number 10 for Chris.
Yeah, good. Yeah, he's having a good year.
Yeah. Indeed. All right, Pez, back to you. What you got number 9?
Well, you don't really need to change too much. Keep that trailer going because I'm also going to talk about Companion at number 9, so you don't have to change a thing. You can just let it run again. I also very much enjoyed Companion, maybe the first great movie of the year that I saw. Again, one of those January releases, which you're always a little wonky about January releases. They're going to be any good, but the trailers look good. I was looking forward to this one, so I'm glad it kind of lived up to how good it looked. Yeah, Jack Quaid showing a different side of him. Gets a little darker in this one, a little more sinister, which I appreciate. Something different, but again, this and like Novocaine are two different roles that he's playing, just a couple months apart from each other, but showing his range, but giving us something different here, showing he can play a villain if he wants to play a villain. So I'm all kind of about it. Like you said, Harvey Guillén, something like that. Yeah, having a fun little side role there, with his own maybe, kind of companion as well. They have good chemistry too. There's some nice little twists and turns, just enough sci-fi to kind of get you intrigued and keep you invested in a couple of nice little twists and turns and some revelations from some of the characters. So it keeps you guessing, but keeps you on the hook. I really, really enjoyed it and thought it was very entertaining. And again, a tight like 95 minutes, doesn't overstay its welcome, gets to the point, and it just leaves you wanting more. And yeah, a fairly new director. I guess I was looking up Drew Hancock, mostly a TV person. But yeah, I think it's their first film. So, but yeah, looking forward to seeing what Drew does next. So yeah, put it on the radar. So yeah, Companion, I thought one of the first really good movies of the year back in January.
Shout out to Hancock, not the Will Smith movie. What you got, Richard?
Sticking sort of with the horror kind of, the horror sort of comedy genre, I'm gonna go. My number 9 is Hard Eyes. Hard Eyes was really, I was surprised to me. It's generally made me laugh quite a bit. Directed by Josh Rubin, who he's been in a lot of stuff, but he's an improvised comedian as well. He's in if you ever watch like the Dropout channel, he's in the Game Changer and all that stuff. And he also directed a very underrated movie called Werewolves Within, which came out a couple years ago. I find this movie just really funny. I think Olivia Holt and Mason Gooding have good chemistry. Mason Gooding's low-key becoming almost like a horror king. We've been in a couple now. Jordana Brewster is quite funny in this movie. And I think it's just great meta-ness to it. And it's just I like how it blends like a romantic comedy in with the horror tropes, and it definitely it's just really well written, and I enjoyed it a lot.
The characters are trying to have, how I describe it to people, the characters are trying to have a cliche rom-com, and they keep getting interrupted by a slasher movie. That's the premise of it. So it's very funny because they keep going back to the cliches and the tropes, but it's a play on that, and keep getting interrupted by people getting killed. It's a lot of fun. I enjoyed it.
It's a lot of. I think really fun movie. I enjoyed it a lot.
Shout out Josh Rubin. Werewolves Within, and also he did Scare Me, which is basically just like 3 people in a cabin telling each other like scary stories. And that's really well done. He's one of the leads in that as well, too. So I'm looking forward to seeing more from him as well. I didn't even realize it was from the same dude, so nice. Catch my breath. Number 9 coming in. Both a movie I do still really like, but it also might be a slight disappointment of the year because, again, it's probably not going to latch on the rest of the year. Mickey 17 from Bong Joon-ho with a fantastic Robert Pattinson performance in it here. I was really with this thing for that first, 30, 45 minutes to an hour. Some stuff in the second half, I don't know if I jived with as well. I was still always engaged. I was still always, very inquisitive as to where they were going with it as well. He makes very unique movies here. There's also really good, Mark Ruffalo and Toni Collette, I think, right? Are kind of shooting some good scenery as, the people in charge as well. And so, it's still a film that I think, the good definitely outweighs the bad. I do wish it was more cohesive for me to like really, because again, I would have guessed this would have been in the top 5, but it didn't quite get there for me. But still, really good enough for me for my number 9. Pez, what you got at number 8?
Yeah, no, we're talking a little more horror here. I think it's been a good year for horror so far overall. A couple of clunkers here and there, but a pretty good year so far. Bring Her Back is my number 8. Is from the Philippou brothers. Their follow-up to Talk to Me. Maybe not quite as like high as Talk to Me because, it may not hang on into the top slot, but still very good so far. Very disturbing movie. Again, another one that's not for the weak at heart, not for the squeamish, because it has some very disturbing material and themes and whatnot with what these kids go through, being kind of almost like adopted, like in this foster family by Sally Hawkins, and it almost plays like a creepy cult movie, but it's just a one-person cult, if that makes sense. It's just Sally Hawkins in her own little world. This cult that she's got in her house, and you sort of eventually find out kind of what's going on with the kids, what her intentions are towards them, her backstory with her own daughter, things like that. But there's some just really disturbing imagery that will stay with you. Some interesting developments kind of kept me guessing kind of from start to finish. Yeah, it's a tough watch. It's not going to be like a super rewatchable movie because it's just going to be the themes are going to be tough to go back to. But again, a nice, almost like a one location thing as well. Most of it kind of takes place around the house and just this one location with these couple of characters. You can tell they kept it kind of small, which I'm glad they didn't go too big budget with their follow up. To talk to me, a little bit bigger budget, a few more actors in there, but not too crazy. I like the slow progression rather than throwing those guys into like $100 million blockbuster or something like that. Like just let them cook for a little while, and then they'll step up their game eventually. But I'm still looking forward to what I think they're 2 for 2 so far in their stuff, and I know they're making a Talk to Me sequel. I think is next, right? Am I wrong? Like literally, Talk
I
to
think
Me.
the next thing they're doing is a documentary on backyard wrestling. But
that's kind of cool because I've seen The Backyard. We don't get many of those. That's interesting. So
I did that too.
we both just perked up now. These horror guys are doing like a backyard wrestling. Okay, I'm in. But bring her back. I thought a really solid follow up, and I'm still invested in what they're doing. So a good, nice follow up and a good horror movie.
Yeah, I'll take one I got to see here. Yeah, when it's out on VOD.
Mm-hmm.
Richie, what you got?
Number 8, another one has been brought up in honorable mentions, but I keep going back to it. I had a lot of fun. It's so fucking bonkers. The Monkey. The Theo James is having a lot of fun here. I didn't realize he had this in him until this movie. But my God, like him as the dual role. So just some of the dialogue is just just hilarious, and it doesn't in the moment it's just hilarious, like when he's like, I think he's trying to tell his son to get out of bed, he goes, "Wait here, everybody, act like an egg and scramble." It's just so much fun. It's very very fun imagination inspired, but in terms of the kills, I just very memorable and just completely out there. There's some interesting cameos that I didn't expect. They're in this movie. All right, sick. I'm on board. And it's just it's a bonkers ride, and I thought about the movie for quite a while, and it's kind of what you want and so I'm glad. I always appreciate when you get a really, really good Stephen King adaptation, and I thought this was one of them. It's just completely off the wall bonkers, and it's my kind of bonkers. And I love Oscar Perkins. He's a great director who hasn't missed so far for me. So so Monkey gets my number 8.
Ooh, indeed. My Monkey impression. Coming to number 8, maybe a bit of a surprise for me here, because MCU's been a little bit back and forth recently. For instance, Captain America, I will not be talking about later, but I will be talking about Thunderbolts here for a little bit. I forgot to put a mic bracket. Thunderbolts, Asterix, / giving away what the real title is way too soon.
Really marketing.
You really got to rush to theaters. Like, again, I have Superman tickets opening day, partially just so I can avoid spoilers. Like, not even because I necessarily want to go opening day. It's just so I can avoid douchebags.
They're just going to start revealing stuff even in TV spots like a day later. Look
at that. We do have Batman in this, or some shit. Like, that's a complete guess. That's not, I have no idea. I'm just throwing, like Wonder Woman and Shazam too. Like, I'm glad I avoided that. Like, come on, just stop it. Anyhow, but again, I think you went back to really the core of what makes MCU work. A good grouping here of people. Florence Pugh, Can't Do No Wrong. David Harbour is a lot of fun here. My Kurt Russell son, Wyatt. Then Bob is a fun side character as well. Lewis Pullman. Some good second generation people, huh? Pullman, Russell. And then just the effects work, the humor works, the action, the intrigue too. Like, I think maybe because I only watched like one trailer too, I was actually invested to kind of where the story was kind of going to a degree. Splash of Julia Louis-Dreyfus, it makes my top 10. Pez, what you got at number 7?
Yeah, my number 7. Let's go back to talking about Jack Quaid some more. Let's go to Novocaine, which I thought was incredibly entertaining, just from start to finish. And what I thought was going to be a fun movie, they lean into the crazy fun aspects of it. Yeah, it starts out as this kind of, again, sort of a rom-com premise. Him and Amber Midthunder from Prey have some nice opening stuff, kind of the start of like a romance movie. I really enjoyed like the intrigue of his character explaining kind of his condition and how he kind of runs his life, in his daily tasks and whatnot. And how he kind of takes his precautions, and his thing of not being able to feel pain. It's not that he then goes around and tries to be this like giant action star. Like, he doesn't know how to fight. He doesn't really know how to do it, but he has this advantage, and it creates for some unique action and some unique kills where he can kind of use his environment in fun ways, and get the job done. And it kind of becomes like this sort of hostage movie, things like that, with a couple of twists here and there that I won't go into if you haven't seen it. But Ray Nicholson, if you thought he was at least intriguing and Smile 2, he plays the kind of the main villain here, and again showing a little bit more of what he can do. So I'm looking forward to his future, and see if he can kind of live up to it. Again, we were talking about second generation stars, JPO, just a minute ago. Yeah, Ray Nicholson, kind of breaking out now. Hopefully he has a nice next couple of years, and really shows what he can do. But yeah, I just thought it was just entertaining from start to finish, and that's what I really look for, is like, give me the entertainment value, and it felt like a summer movie without being like a summer movie. Just nice, still kind of small scale, but a lot of fun here. So if you haven't seen it yet, I would highly recommend it. I thought it was just a blast.
Yeah, no, fun stuff as well. Indeed, I agree. What you got at number 7, Richard?
I just want to say that dude from Spider-Man No Way Home, sorry, I can all the stuff later. I can't remember his name.
Jacob Batalon. Yeah.
I'm saying a Lordy. I'm like, no, that's a hot looking one. Yeah, Babylon.
But yeah, my number 7 is a movie I legit, I almost had no interest in, and I almost skipped. But I'm like, oh no, I'll watch it. But it blew me away just how great it was. How to Train Your Dragon. How to Train Your Dragon is genuinely very, very good. Yeah, like it doesn't tell most of the same story. Yeah, but like it's so well acted. They do change a little bit here and there, but like but yeah, it's just I don't know. I don't know. It's like it's the kind of the effects are so beautiful. The acting is just like it's top notch as well. Like I think like Gerard Butler, he's playing the same character as he did in the animated. He's fantastic in this. It's probably one of his like better performances. The guy who plays a Hiccup, I can't remember his name. I can't remember. He definitely he's got that. He looks like it's unfortunate. He looks like Drake Bell, but he's really good, and the chemistry he has with the again, I'm not listening names, but the Thunderway Newton's kid is really good. And yeah, I just think it was a really solid film, and then I had a lot of enjoyment in it, and I'm glad I'm in my thing of like, unless it's like really, unless like the movie looks really bad, I'm probably gonna just watch anything, unless your name is like Smurfs. I will watch you. So I'm glad I had that philosophy, because otherwise I would have missed potentially missed out on this to put it on this list. So yeah, I think this movie's fantastic.
Did we?
Oh yeah, no. I almost
Okay.
watched this today, and then I just said I'm gonna sleep in instead. So, but no, I think that it actually might be really good too. And like I said, I've heard pretty good things. And your Ian Disney Glove review gives it. Give me a second.
That's so good. I enjoyed it as well, Reggie. It was better than I thought it would be. I wasn't super enthusiastic about them doing it already. 15 years after the original, but yeah, it was very good. It was much better than I thought it would be. Well cast.
Yeah.
My number. Oh, sorry. Continue.
So that guy does look like Greg Belden. He does. And,
yeah, it does.
It's weird. I'm like, here you go.
Coming in my number 7 here, you shouldn't be surprised that it made my list here. Again, wish it was a little bit higher, but I still really dug it. The Queen of the Ring. Give me more pro wrestling movies all day, every day. This one's a good tale, too, of going old school now into the female wrestling trajectory now of Mildred Burke, one of the first females coming up on the rise here. She is a single mother who ended up dating one of the promoters in Josh Lucas. Maybe some more revolving relationship status later on there. You'll find out in the actual movie itself here. She gets really good performance here too. Gets some side stuff from Walton Goggins, and it goes through a lot in a little bit of time here. But it does hit some cliches, but I think it does it really well here. I think the budget, luckily, which wasn't huge, it's all the money's on screen, so I think you never kind of feel out of it either. So yeah, I really dug it. I think it's a worthy tale we're telling here. You feel a little triumphant at the end of it, and definitely a worthy tale we're telling, whether you're a wrestling fan or not. Check out Queen of the Ring, co-starring Jim Cornette. What you got at number 6, Pez?
Yeah, he had a little more screen time than I thought he would, actually, especially getting.
He got some stuff in there. Yeah, I'm glad.
Yeah. My number 6 is Ballerina. I very much enjoyed Ballerina, and I thought it would just kick a lot of ass. It fits right in, I think, with this John Wick universe. And when going into it, all I wanted to see was give me some more of that sweet John Wick style action. And that same sort of, the way they film it, just pulling back, letting you see everything that's going on, not shaky cam, not super hyper edited, things like that. And I think it just delivers. And again, getting a different perspective here, having Ana de Armas kind of a female perspective, but leaning into that, because they lean into that in her training, saying you got to fight like a girl sometimes, you got to cheat a little bit, fight a little dirty, because you're not going to have those advantages. So, anybody who's worried about just her being super overpowered, she's not. She plays into, they play into that in the movie. She takes advantage of everything she can with her environment and her weaponry and whatnot, but still expands this universe a little bit more and has a little fun with it. And yeah, just when you get to the actual action, it's a little slow getting going. But once it gets to it, about 45 minutes an hour in, it is nonstop to the finish, with just one great, amazing action sequence after another. The grenade fight is a lot of fun. The nightclub sequence is fun. And then, oh my God, is the flamethrower battle at the end so much goddamn fun. And from what I can tell, a ton of practical fire effects, people being set on fire. I don't know how they did some of this stuff. I would love to see some behind the scenes when this thing eventually comes to Blu-ray or whatnot, to see how they did some of this. Just some jaw-droppingly great stuff, and even a fun little sequence with him and another lady just smashing plates on each other's heads and stuff. Just a lot of fun. Some really goofy stuff. Just again, some nice little comedic moments. John Wick having a couple little nice moments as well, popping into the movie. But it was everything I wanted. I go into a John Wick movie looking for the action, and I think they delivered. And I think time will tell, and it'll fit right in with this universe, and people will throw it on and just have a great time. So I very much enjoyed Ballerina. I had a good time with it.
Pew indeed. Richard, what you got number 6?
I'm very pissed off with myself. Another honorable mention, Ballerina. How do I
You're
forget?
bad at Letterboxd.
I
Keep track throughout the year. What are you doing?
But anyway, put up a trailer you've already put up, a couple of times. Put up Companion. There you go. Companion is great. I think Sophie Thatcher is sort of having a breakout a couple of years. That she's been, was great in Hereditary, which I also rewatched the other day. She's great in this. I think she's got a couple of projects coming up too, which you see her breaking out. But yeah, she's fantastic. Yeah, Jack Quaid is just it's almost you could probably you could almost do a double feature with this, and maybe Death of the Unicorn. It's got similar themes of rich, spoiled, privilege, and experimenting with technology and shit like that. But yeah, I thought that it's had a lot of intrigue. I just thought it was fantastic, but it goes places I didn't think it was going to go. And yeah, just a great, solid movie. I have it here from the library, and I've got to watch it. I think it might be overdue. You know what? You'll get it back when I've watched it. Yeah. No. Yeah, no, it's a great.
That might be getting a late fee.
I know they're very lax with that.
We'll come to number 6. We're gonna take it down a notch. It's a really simple, sweet film I really loved. I actually mean that too. It sounds like I'm about to set it up and say something horrible. Bob Trevino Likes It comes in at my number 6, which I believe who just said that?
Chris Diaz, I think, had
Bob's
or
with me.
Brian. Yeah, a couple
Yeah.
people brought it up.
This is a super sweet film here. So this is Barbie Ferreira, who I guess is on Euphoria. Not that I've never seen that show. And had a small part in Nope. So she's a girl whose dad is French Stewart. He's a real shitbird who kind of only sees her when it's convenient for him, when he can kind of use her to maybe prop him up on a blind date or something like that. And finally he decides that he's just gonna ghost her. She's been a big enough disappointment, even though she's a super well-intended girl. French Stewart could stop talking to her. And on Facebook, she finds a guy named Bob Trevino, the same exact name as her dad. And then I don't know if it's necessarily that she confuses it for her dad or she just kind of hopes. She's just kind of like lonely and well intended. It ends up being John Leguizamo, who's going through his own work issues, and you find out more about his backstory and some of his tragedy here. And it's just a really nice, well developed friendship between these two. The ending will hit you in the gut. It's good. It's really well done. I look forward to seeing more of Barbie. I love seeing Johnny Legs have a really good meaty performance too, because he's been one of my favorites back in the day. I'm a big Pest guy. Don't judge me. I was 6. That was the perfect age for it. So I've always loved Leguizamo. So and yeah, this movie I thought it really hit really well. So Bob Trevino Likes It. So do I. Also, shout out to the entire cast of Third Rock from the Sun. All 4 of those fuckers can act really well.
Yeah. Now, a couple of you guys have shouted this out recently, and it wasn't really on my radar, but I'm glad it is now. So I'll definitely check it out in the near future. So yeah, thank you guys for putting it on my radar. I didn't know much about it.
Yeah, no, this is a sweet film. Yeah, I highly recommend it. See News Bombs with me. I think Chris likes it too. Rick Weaver likes it. What you got though at we're at the halfway mark, number 5. Pez.
Yeah, number 5. Yeah, I'm also going to talk about just a very small, under the radar kind of movie. Maybe you saw the Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. It's vaguely sounds familiar. You might know something a little about it. But yeah, no, an excellent finale here to the series. If it is indeed the finale, who knows? They could go with some spinoffs and whatnot. But I think Tom Cruise is legit and said he's pretty much done with it. But yeah, it's a little shaky getting going the first 30 minutes or so, just because they're trying to kind of tie in some stuff from previous movies. But then once the story kind of kicks into high gear and we kind of move past that and get into some emotional moments and then kind of really get the plot kind of back on on track, it is nonstop again to the finale. Some of the great sequences, as usual, the underwater sequences is nail biting and as thrilling as you'll ever see this year. And again, awe inspiring on how he just did a lot of stuff for real and it's just incredible how he does it. The biplane sequence, in the finale is absolutely just jaw dropping and breathtaking, and knowing again that he did it all for real. And you're just kind of with the movie, just oh my god, no, oh Jesus, and just you're with them. You've been with this character for a really long time now, and I think they did stick the landing. And yeah, since they did stick the landing, I'm ready to call this the best action franchise ever made. I just think it is, and it just works here. So love the team chemistry again. Him and Simon Pegg still have it. Him and Ving Rhames still have it. Everybody still plays their roles perfectly. I mean, of course he knows how to play his role 8 movies in. But yeah, it still works. Great locales, great technical filmmaking here. So I still think it's a good finale. Yeah, a little wonky to get started, but once you get past there, I'm invested, and even that'll probably get better as I hit the rewatches. So yeah, Final Reckoning, great final film. Loved it.
Sweet stuff. Richie, what you got at your halfway mark here, number 5?
Keep the trailer up there. Yeah, mine is Final Reckoning. It's a fantastic film. Yeah, it took me a while. For about 30, 45 minutes, I was a bit disappointed. I'm like, oh, there's a lot of exposition here, but they're tying in everything from the franchise. And there's a lot of characters coming. Oh yeah, it's like a it's like that it's almost like that working man Jason Statham earlier in the year. It's like, oh, this character. Yeah, but unlike that movie, there's a lot of that they're more important to the actual movie. I think once it gets going, it's fantastic. The underwater sequence is incredible. But yeah, the plane sequence, obviously, because it's filmed, he pulls it off all right. But man, I was still nervous. Like, holy shit! I was thinking this is amazing, but also you're insane. Like you're a psycho. Why would you agree to do this for real? I would. Oh man, makes me look like the biggest pussy. But yeah, man, I could. But yeah, and also the people who show up here as well. Like shout out to Tremel Tillman from Severance, who it was my favorite first time watches as a TV show this year. Severance is amazing. He's great. Katie O'Brien from Love Lies Bleeding. She shows up for a bit here as well. But yeah, it's just a fantastic film. And yeah, I agree. It's one of it's probably the best action franchise ever made. So yeah, definitely.
Nice. From that Tom Cruise film to a guy that directed a Tom Cruise film. F1 made my top 5 here. One of the probably more recent theater watch here for me here, and that is something I do recommend seeing in a theater if you can here. Again, directed by Joseph Kosinski, who knows how to make a good-looking film here. And as part of what works is, once you get to the adrenaline racing, it looks good. And again, just Brad Pitt being very cool, laid-back Brad Pitt. He's got a couple cool sayings in this. Some fun chemistry between him and Harvey Bardem when they first meet. The plucky undercomer who's, a little disturbed or, a little upset at, the appearance of Brad Pitt, who guess what? They're friends by the end of the movie. It's just a really well-made movie here. I felt the length a little bit here. That's maybe my only qualm, but there's enough going on where I didn't feel it to the degree of like, all right, wrap it up. You would definitely feel like, all right, we're at the 2 some hour mark, but it's good stuff. F1, not my 1, but in my 5. That's what you got at number 4.
Yeah, number 4 is a movie that got put on my radar that I started hearing chatter about again around the horror communities and whatnot, and it dropped on Shudder. It's a movie from Norway called The Ugly Stepsister, which I very much enjoyed here. And it's one that, it's gotten a little buzz in that kind of vein of like a of The Substance sort of a thing. Not quite as high as like The Substance, in it being like, my bang out, number 1 of the year or anything like that. But some similar themes, like there's some body horror stuff in here, some themes about like beauty standards and when the lengths people will go to get what they perceive as like the ultimate beauty and whatnot, because it is about a girl who's kind of perceived as ugly, and it's a twist on the Cinderella story as far as you're following one of the stepsisters in that Cinderella story who's fighting to be noticed by the prince and whatnot when they put out this call that in a couple of months he's going to be looking for a new bride essentially. So there actually is like a Cinderella character that you see throughout the movie, but she's not the focus. It's a nice little kind of backwards twist on the story. But yeah, just the sheer lengths that she goes to in this movie to kind of transform herself. It's an amazing performance by her name is Leah Myron, who plays the Ugly Stepsister, the main one there. Great performance. Again, if you're fine with watching, European movie, here in Norwegian, it's well worth your time. And I think it's really, really great. So go out of your way to check it out, and you get super invested. It gets very disturbing at the end, and again, some darkly humorous body horror that kind of rears its ugly head in the last 15-20 minutes, and some of the consequences of what can happen going to those lengths. So yeah, if you're into that sort of thing, give it a shot. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, I believe it's on Shudder, AMC Plus, that sort of thing. So it's available out there right now. Well, worth your time. I really liked it.
Very cool, very cool. Richie, what you got at number 4 yourself?
Yeah, again, another one that appeared on honorable mentions. when Pedro's going through his honorable mentions, I'm like, oh, well, there's a lot that's going to be on actually. So my number 4 is Black Bag. Even though we're only in June, Steven Soderbergh said it was this is the second movie of the year. This is a better one, even though me and Pez agree on a lot of things. I actually like the presents, but yeah, the great cast. It's just a suave. It feels like a kind of more like I don't meaning to like have a dig it in or anything, but it just feels like a more well written, like Guy Ritchie movie kind of thing, but it's just very suave, kind of almost like sort of like sexy sort of espionage movie almost. It's really good. I think Kate Blanchett and Michael Fassbender have great chemistry, and and you're not really sure of the kind of the machinations of the relationship, the dynamic, and you don't know if one's going to like turn on the other. But it's got great twists and turns. And then the kind of supporting cast director, Marissa Abella, she's probably Abella, who's probably best known. She was the Amy Winehouse in that biopic last year. Regé-Jean Page, who's what was in Dungeons and Dragons last year. And Pierce Brosnan, Naomi Harris is in there as well. But yeah, it's just a very intriguing, very well written film, and yeah, it like keeps you intrigued from start to finish, and yeah, it's a sort of brisk 90 minutes, but man, it keeps you in toes for all that for the length. So yeah.
Yeah, very nice, very nice. That's number 4. I should have flip-flopped my 5 and 4, so we all could have agreed. But I kept it where it was. My number 4 is Mission Impossible. I think going back to that here. Now, a good swan song to a really great action series here. Again, not a, I don't know, bad movie in the bunch. I got to rewatch 2, because that's the only one where I'm on the fence. Otherwise, they are all thumbs up, if not big old thumbs up as well here. Yeah, again, the scenes here you guys mentioned, from the underwater to all that plane sequence. It goes for a few minutes yet, but like it's worth it, and it's so well done and whatnot. And like again, like feels like you're in it, man. This doesn't feel like, because obviously it's Tom Cruise, like where you're like, oh, it's edited so quickly and stunt double galore, and like, no, you feel like this dude is
he's going through the shit in this movie. He's going through it. It's him.
Yeah, you know what I mean? How funny would it be if he did die, but like he was like put in his contract, he's like, you still can't tell anyone, and you film it and you air it, because I'm Tom Cruise, and we all find out by entering the theater. But no, and again, it's a good finale. My only kind of qualms, again, I felt the length a little bit, and also too, it is a little Beetlejuice Ghostbusters in the sense of there's a lot of side fucking characters in this, y'all. My God, they have so many. Nick Offerman, the chick from Ted Lasso, the guy you mentioned from Severance, that older couple at the end. They got a new recruit that they throw in there. There's there's Pop Clementine that's gets on. This bad guy, another bad guy.
It did feel like the introduction of Nick Offerman. I was like, did we need another government guy who can like advise the president? We've already got 3 other people that did the same thing. Like we did. Somebody else could have just done the same.
Yeah,
thing.
had him Waddington or whatever from Ted Lasso was kind of a similar-ish character, and no spoilers, but like there's like 1 or 2 like deaths where I'm like, I wasn't that invested. Like, I don't know, whatever. Like, you got a lot of people you're floating around here. So again, just maybe they could have calmed on that. Maybe they really could have combined some roles, or Shea Wiggum's in this. There's so much going on. Yeah. So that's the only thing. Like, there was a lot of like, okay, who am I talking to now? Who's this exactly? What's his role? Okay. What you got we're at number 3.
Yeah, no, and I think we're definitely getting the stuff that will for sure stick at the end of the year. JPO, your top 3 here.
Yeah.
I'm pretty confident in that. My number 3 is Sinners. Ryan Coogler. Again, a hell of a great movie. I was almost worried because they were playing the trailer, so I saw this trailer 9,000 times in the lead up. The way that they attached this trailer to every single movie, there was like a running gag between me and my girl, just like, and here comes the Sinners trailer. I know, there it is. There you go. Leading up to it, but no. It did live up to the hype here. I think Ryan Coogler, has been batting really, really strong in his last couple of movies. Michael B. Jordan, again, him. It's one of the great like Hollywood duos. It seems like these guys can really do no wrong with each other. And him playing the dual roles of Smoke and Stack. But what's one of those great things, JPO, is like when it's really cool when you have the actor playing the dual roles, but they make both characters very distinct, and like you almost lose yourself in thinking like, does Michael B. Jordan really have a twin brother that he's like acting off of. Like
He's been hiding.
it's just so seamless here, for what they do. And they both have very distinct personalities. They have distinct like body movements and cadences, and like just the way they, carry themselves to where you really do forget, and yet you're able to tell them apart very, very easily. And again, have great chemistry with everybody here. It really gets those great themes of like Prohibition era, Southern stuff here. I didn't mind Jack O'Connell at all as the villain. I thought he was having a lot of fun.
I think
This-
he's fantastic.
Yeah, I think
might
he's
have
having a
been
lot of
Mission
fun.
Impossible, unless he's talking about this one. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay, maybe. But I was gonna say, if we're talking about Sinners, I thought Jack O'Connell's having a great time here as sort of the head vampire guy. This clan, turning people. But again, the music is fantastic. One of the highlights of the movie, the way they weave in that old kind of blues music and again that cultural music there. Nice little wrap ups here. Yeah, but the horror, works when it kind of switches to full on horror, and later still works as well, and has some nice emotional beats too woven in there between all the characters. So. Again, just top-notch stuff from Coogler here, and if you told me, it was only going to be Coogler working with Michael B. Jordan, for the rest of his career, I would still be excited to be like, "Yep, I'm ready for whatever they do next." Like, totally fine, because they're really batting 1,000, those two guys. So I'm with it. So good stuff if you haven't seen it yet. But I'm so happy. I'm so happy it had legs and was like making more money like the second weekend than the first weekend, and it ended up being like a really great like word of mouth hit and hung around for a while. I'm very happy about that to see an original movie do so well.
Yeah. The Sinner agrees. What you got, Richie?
My number 3 is I feel a need for F1. F1. There you go. I only watched, obviously, because it only came out a couple weeks ago, and just watched this. But man, was I blown away! This movie rules. And I know he's all his career, he's sort of radiated this, but man, is Brad Pitt cool in this movie? He radiates fucking cool. It's one of those movies where, and especially because of the subject matter, if you watch this documentary about it, but it's one of those movies I could see Steve McQueen being in. He's got that kind of vibe to him. I think the way that the races are shot are amazing. I think Joseph Kosinski just knows how to shoot action, shoot the stuff. Yeah, it makes me care about F1, which I think is like one. No shade if you like it, but I just think it's one of the more boring sports in the world. But the newcomer Damus, Damon, is it Damus Idris or something?
Damson Idris, Josh.
Damson Idris, he's a boatload of charisma. I want to see more of that dude. He's definitely could be a breakout star. You may even say he's a revelation if you were going to be annoying about it.
Don't you dare!
But yeah, I think he has great. Rapid has great chemistry with Kerry Condon. And Javier Bardem is very charismatic in this movie. Yeah, it's a fantastic movie. It's almost a movie that you kind of see. You might be able to see sort of where it's going, but you don't care. You're sort of along for the ride. And I did hear that they're doing a sequel, but you don't need a sequel. Just because it made money doesn't mean you make a sequel. It's very self-contained. I'll say that. I won't give them the spoilers. It's very self-contained. It's a fun ride. This movie absolutely rules. It blew me away.
Very nice. I don't see where a sequel necessarily needs to go. Especially how Pitt's character is definitely done. I feel, but
his arc is wrapped up. I don't need
100.
to see any more of that. Yeah, the arc when you see the movie is.
Now I believe that when I see it.
No.
I'll come in with number 3 here. Now this is a sequel I've been waiting for. 28 years later, dropped Danny Boyle back in the seat from a script that was also helped penned by Alex Garland, who's had a decent year as well. Yeah, I've been waiting for this thing for a while here. Again, good opening as well. All 3 films have good openings to kind of set the pace and the tone of this world that we live in. We fast forward a little bit here. Aaron Taylor Johnson and his kid, who's only I think they say 13. They go on their first kind of mission. It's supposed to be just kind of a normal, get his feet wet and of course, shit goes down, and things continue to go down. There's a revelation about him and his mother. It was some stuff that Aaron Taylor Johnson as well. You finally meet towards kind of the last half of it of Ralph Fiennes' character. Some interesting stuff with him. It takes its time. There's several moments of quiet, and it's about the characters, and then I feel like just nonstop zombie, or rage infected, whatever the fuck you want to call it. They're zombies, whatever. But it's gorgeously shot again, and as well, Danny Boyle knows again, whoever guys for cinematography and also his way, his editing too is all really well done here. I do have some qualms. Some of it is more to do with maybe like spoilery stuff I don't want to get into. So it's not perfect by any means, but it is a film that I really enjoyed 28 years later. Pez, what do you have at number 2?
Well, pop that F1 trailer right back up because it's going to be my number 2.
Going back to F1.
Yeah, going right back to F1. But that's fine because, again, I think Joseph Kosinski has done it again because both this and Top Gun Maverick, are there anything they're going to give you like something brand new that you've never seen as far as like a character or a plot or, any kind of thing like or a script that you've never seen before? Not really, but you know what? He knows how to do it to the damn top level that you're ever going to get it. It's perfect popcorn entertainment. And that's exactly what he knows how to do, and he does it to a high degree here. All the technical aspects of this filmmaking are brilliant. The movie looks amazing. You can see the money on the screen, and he knows how to do that action, man. All the racing sequences are thrilling. It's very similar to like I loved Gran Turismo a few years ago, and I thought that was really well done. And this one's extremely well done as well. I don't watch a lot of racing either, JP, as far as like on TV. It's not really my thing, sports wise. But you do a good racing.
I'm not a sports guy, let alone a racing guy. Sure.
But you do great racing like in a movie, and you send us some great Hans Zimmer score, but slap a little of that on top of there, and great Brad Pitt performance, and can he do this performance in his sleep? Of course he can, but damn, does he have charisma for days? And he's great chemistry with Damson Idris and Javier Bardem here, so all just playing the roles kind of perfectly. Again, it's the nice kind of standard twists and turns of everything, but just a really, really good story, and just maybe the best pure popcorn entertainment you'll see of the year so far. So F1 is just, I can see this one definitely being that word of mouth hit that just hangs around for a while, much like Top Gun. And it's the best dad movie of the year, man, because boy, is this a dad movie. I took my dad to see this, my roommate who's an older gentleman who actually loves Formula One, so he was super looking forward to this because he loves Formula One. It's like his favorite thing to watch. So but we all had a great time. The audience had a great time. This is definitely just a great crowd pleaser that is going to do what it needs to do, man, and just entertain. So good stuff. Loved it.
Very nice. We're at the tippity top almost, man. Number 2 for you, Richie.
Number 2, it's probably one of those times where you just got to get those trailers back up. We've already seen number 2. I got Sinners. Sinners. It's one of those things where I heard praise going in, and sometimes it go either way. Like especially the social media age, where like people tend to kind of go overboard. But no, this deserves all the praise it gets, man. It's just a fantastic sort of. It's a great looking film. Michael B. Jordan is just fantastic, and then 2 very distinct, great characters, sort of playing off each other. It is weird, like when I see Haley Steinfeld in this, and then you see when you're seeing True Grit, you're like, man, people grow up fast, don't they? You just it's a bit jarring, but it's like that was. This movie is fantastic. The music's great. I actually going back and listen to the soundtrack. There's I can't remember the song, but there's a great song by James Blake in this track. It is it's just great and breathtaking. And Jack O'Connell is a fantastic villain. I think he's having a lot of fun. And the scene where he shows up is very tense. Also, shout out to Delroy Lindo as well in this film. I think he's great. I definitely, it's one of those films. I don't know if it did it release on home DVD or anything like that, or Blu-ray. I don't know. It's one of those ones I probably would get if it did. Because I do save those for like the big movies of my favorite movies of the year. And this will definitely hold. I don't know if it'll on number 2, but it'll definitely have a strong position coming into the year, I think, because it's going to have to take something pretty damn, it's pretty damn special, or pretty damn like epic to knock it off its perch. So yeah.
Coming in at my number 2 here in the movie that just hit me really hard. My Dead Friend Zoe is something that I watched a few weeks ago. Had some, I believe, Amazon credits, or I did something where I've been wanting to see this for a minute here. Sneaker Martin Green and Natalie Morales are, army pilots who you find out that unfortunately Natalie Morales' character has passed. Sneaker Martin Green literally carries her with her, still in her heart, in her soul, and even physically in her mind, as she sits next to her, in therapy, which is court-endorsed therapy after an incident that Martin Green has here. Morgan Freeman is fantastic as kind of the counselor who, knows she's going through some tough times and she doesn't want to open up. And, but when it finally happens, it hits hard. Green has such a tremendous performance in this movie here. Even though it's got that fantastical element of, Natalie Morales' character still being around, so still being around with her by her side, it doesn't feel false. It doesn't feel like it's a gimmick just to be a gimmick. It still holds, I think, very true here. There's some really great revelations, too, that whether you're in the army or not, that is really just about humanity and, and living with things that have happened, whether it's in your control or not. I just thought it was tremendously well done. My Dead Friend Zoe at my number 2. We are there, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
We're about to talk about our favorite films of the year so far. What is your number 1, Pez?
My number 1, I'm big on surprises. Like if there's a movie that can kind of come out of nowhere and really surprise me and just hook me and just blow me away, something that maybe was on my radar, maybe not on my radar, something that's really got me. The Life of Chuck. Holy shit, did I love The Life of Chuck. This movie just knocked my socks off. It was the Regal mystery movie, about a month or 2 back whenever it came out. And yeah, I knew almost nothing about this movie other than Mike Flanagan and a little bit of the cast here. The only thing I ever saw was like that initial teaser where it's just him, Hiddleston, like standing in the middle of that town square or whatever. That's really it. And just knew it was based on some kind of Stephen King thing. That's all I knew. And that's all I needed because I'm going to go see the new Mike Flanagan movie. Of course I am. And I'm glad I knew nothing about this thing going in. Talk about a first act where like I was just like, I have no idea what's going on, but I am hooked as hooked can be with this first act here that just got me engaged. And I was just engaged, from then on and just turns into like this really heartfelt, cool story. I don't want to spoil too much, really, because I think one of the great things about it is if you don't know that much, kind of a story.
I don't know that much.
I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you. It's kind of told a little bit out of order. I'll just tell you that, but in a good way. Like to where you don't know where it's going. But yeah, if you're not hooked by the end of that first act, I don't know what will. But it's great. Excellent performances here. So really good, like kind of side cast here with Jacob Tremblay, who's always reliable, playing kind of a teenage version of Chuck here. Mark Hamill giving a really good meaty performance. Chiwetel Ejiofor, Matthew Lillard shows up. Harvey Gillian, the guy we just talked about, shows up for a little bit here as well. So yeah, he's popping up a little bit as well. A lot of people you'll recognize popping in and out. Nick Offerman does a little bit of a narration too, so he's having a very busy year also. But yeah, I won't spoil too much, man. It's just brilliantly directed, great score. I just think it'll get you in the feels by the end of it, the way they tell the story and what's really going on. So yeah, you may not know what's going on at first, but that's a good thing, JPO. When you watch this movie, like you're not going to know exactly like where it's going, but like in that best way where you're just like, I have no idea what's going on, but damn, is it entertaining, and I'm hooked to see where it goes and how everything, the puzzle kind of comes together, and it does, I promise. But yeah, man, I was just sat there and just been like, it's just one of those great experiences, and really the true power of cinema and just a very simple human story about people's effect on other people and how that comes into play. So again, I'll leave it there, JP. I won't spoil too much about the actual meaty content of the movie. So yeah, but go check it out as soon as you can. I loved Chuck.
Yeah, no, it's another just unfortunate situation of it. Never went to my small little eight theater thing, and it is. And if you ever looked at my anticipation list, it was always in the top 5, top 2. Because I've been interested. Like you said, Mike Flanagan, that cast. I've heard him in interviews. I heard Lillard sell this in interviews. I was like, okay, this seems like it's coming from the right place of heart, and Flanagan's been good so far. We'll
Yeah.
see. And yeah, I've heard nothing but good things. It's definitely like one of those. As soon as it's not like $20 or if it's on a streamer,
Oh
I'll get
yeah.
to it right
Well,
away.
and even my theater came out for like a week, but it didn't make much at the box office. It didn't get a whole lot of traction, which is unfortunate. So it's a movie I hope that people throughout the year, JPO, like discover because of like word of mouth when it hits streaming services and whatnot. I hope, and people talk about
I think
it maybe at the end of the year.
I got a feeling
I
like it
hope
would
so.
easily might have a second life kind of thing.
I hope it'll have a second
or even
life
a
later.
first real life.
Once people write articles about it, it shows up maybe in top 10 lists at the end of the year, things like that. They'll put it on more people's radar. But I really enjoyed it. So yeah, I loved the Life of Chuck.
No, it's good to hear. Good to hear.
Mm-hmm.
We got a Life of Chuck. Shout out, Richie. I want to know you though. What is your number one film of the year?
Also, just quickly, Life of Chuck. It's not out here yet, which is annoying. I wish more release dates were close together. But yeah, it comes out like in August.
Yeah.
But yeah, my number one. People say I'm biased, but hey, no, but it does mean have a soft spot though. My number one is Bring It Back by the Australian film by the Filippo brothers. They've got an actual name, the Filippo brothers, but I just think there's a cool story about those guys because they they started like they were YouTubers, just fucking around in the backyard, like doing like backyard wrestling stuff, and then they got a lot of traction. But you don't look at if you go back and watch their stuff, you don't go, yeah, one day these two are gonna create like two very critically acclaimed horror movies. You're like, that are going to be watched the world over. That's a very weird career pivot. But no, this is yeah, but it's fantastic. I remember we did a ranking of best like horror performances that should have deserved an Oscar. We do a redux of that. I'm sure. Sally Hawkins will be on that because I don't have faith that she'll get anything, but she should. She carries the movie.
She's so damn good in this movie, and like she always is, but she's really good.
She's fantastic in this film. She should get something. She is amazing. And it sort of goes places and think, it's not for the faint of heart. Like I don't blame people if they don't want to like do like rewatches or whatever. It's very. Yeah, they pull no punches, these guys, but not to tell a story. But my God, it sticks with you. It definitely sticks with you, and I just think it's fantastic. And they're becoming one of those directors. I'm like, they're on my radar every time. Like, if they've got something out, I'm gonna watch it. First week, or I always like keep up to date with what's going on because I think there's just very talented dudes, and I think it's also just a case of you can't because they don't look like they don't look like your typical like filmmaker director. I guess it's just a case of you can't judge a book by its cover. By its cover, they're kind of really goofy dudes. If you've seen the interviews, they're kind of goofy, unique guys. So. I think it's cool. It's a cool story of the career story, and it's a great movie. So, yeah.
What was once a number 3 became a number 2, so might as well be someone's number 1. Sinners. Your 3, your 2, my 1. So again, just to piggyback off what everyone has said already so far here. Again. A movie I was down with on paper. Michael B. Jordan, Ryan Coogler, vampires, cool, sold. That's all I need. Here's my money. Ryan Coogler has been 100 so far in his directing filmography. Michael B. Jordan, this might be my favorite like performance of Michael B. Jordan here. Like he's acting his ass off, and as said, 2 different roles here. Fun side cast. Shout out, again, don't really know Jack O'Connell. Shailene Woodley showing a different side of her than you've ever seen before.
Now you're getting them backwards confused from last night. You said Shailene Woodley. This is Haley Steinfeld, not Shailene Woodley. So you got it backwards the other night. It was Haley Steinfeld in Robots, and that was Shailene Woodley.
Listen, this is I'm trying to think of like a third like female. This is Kat Dennings doing really good work in Sinners. No, I was also going to shout out Michael's Ken, the young kid. making his
Yeah.
debut with this movie. By the way, absolutely killing it here. Fun epilogue too. If you think the movie's done, it's not. Stick around for a nice little epilogue to just give you a little more of a taste of this world here. And yeah, this one it zips along. It's interesting. It's kind of everything you kind of want it to be, and it's one that, again, like I said, has stuck with me over time, and one that I would be very surprised if it, not necessarily be number one at the end of the year, maybe, who knows, but definitely I still think definitely in the 10. So that is my number one for Sinners. Pez, you want to go over your 10 one more time?
Yeah, happy to do so. Number 10 tonight will be Friendship, the Tim Robinson comedy. Number 9, Little Jack Quaid with Companion. Number 8, the Philippou Brothers horror movie Bring Her Back. Number 7, also Jack Quaid, another side of him with Novocaine. Number 6, From the World of John Wick, Ballerina, which is unnecessary. Just get rid of that. Just call it Ballerina. Number 5 is Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning. Number 4 is a Norwegian body horror film, The Ugly Stepsister. My number 3 is Ryan Coogler's Sinners. Number 2 is Kosinski's F1. And my number 1 is Mike Flanagan's The Life of Chuck. Go see it if you haven't. There you
go. Richie, what about you? I can pull it up here in a second. My mouse just disconnected. There we go.
Yeah, so for my number 10, you got Final Destination Bloodlines. For number 9, you got the horror comedy Hard Eyes, directed by Josh Rubin. Number 8, you've got The Monkey, Stephen King adaptation. Number 7, you got the How to Train Your Dragon live action remake. Number 6, you got Drew Hancock's Companion. Number 5, you got Mission Impossible Final Reckoning, or as JP put it, FR, because he didn't want to keep topping it.
Because there's only so many letters. All your titles were long. You had the longest titles tonight.
Oh, yeah. How to Train Your Dragon, Final Destination Bloodline. Yeah, it's too many characters.
And right now, I had to abbreviate something to get everything in.
Number 4, Black Bag. The great ensemble movie.
Sorry.
Steven Soderbergh, great ensemble movie. Number 3, F1, or if you're dumb, F1 the movie.
Unnecessary as well.
Great.
I hate something like that. Yeah.
Number 2 is Sinners. Number 1 is the Philippou Brothers movie Bring Her Back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I was just looking. So I was only 2 letters away from filling out my max. Pez, you have the shortest list today, 178 characters.
Right.
You could have had almost other.
I had no. It's funny. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have like 5 that were just one word titles. So that, I guess that helps, right?
Yeah. 6 actually, because F1.
I guess. Yeah,
I just put ballerina because I'm not typing that.
That's what I mean. Ballerina works. You can just go. This should be called ballerina. Yeah. So a lot of those.
Shortest list, longest list. Mine like Goldilocks was just right. 198 out of 200 characters. But yeah, it's on my list here tonight. We're gonna go to my favorite Letterboxd. Pez doesn't like it. Richie doesn't understand it, but I get it. Number 10 was Companion. Number 9 was Mickey 17. 8 is Thunderbolts Asterisk. Number 7, Queen of the Ring. Number 6, Bob Torino likes it. Number 5, F1. Number 4, Mission Impossible Final Reckoning. Number 3, 28 Years Later. Number 2, My Dead Friend Zoe. And number 1, Sinners. Follow me at J.P. Owens. And then also, let's see, in the chat here we had Brian talking about the top 10 one more time. Thunderbolts drop F1 accountant. Bob Trevino likes it. Pee Wee has himself a document. There you go. Nanos with Vince Vaughn. Petted in Peru. Novocaine Sinners. There we go. Pez, any plugs or parting words, good sir?
No, you can mostly find me over on the Movie Hero Network. I believe we'll also be doing our podcast of the time of the year so far in about 2 weeks or so. We'll have a different panel. We'll get some other folks, Dan Skip-Val, Michael Wolfman, Jonathan Caro, who popped into the comments tonight, will be on that show. So we'll get some other people's perspectives, maybe some other picks in there as well. But we're doing that in about 2 weeks. We'll have a date for you very soon. But yeah, you can mostly find us over there doing tournament fights, tier ranker fights. Me and Richie doing Wheel of Movies, which we just did, The Jerk, and we'll be doing a little Michael Madsen tribute in 2 weeks for Kill Bill Volume 2. So you can check that out as well. And of course, all 3 of us lovely gentlemen plus Jacob Barber on the Lonely Marks Wrestling Podcast every Thursday night, 10 p.m. on its own channel called the Lonely Marks Wrestling Podcast. I link it in the Movie Hero Network group every week, Facebook group, so you can find that over there as well. But thanks for having me as always, Jordan. Looking forward to doing our worst of the year list whenever we decide to do that. Here in the next
stay tuned. That's coming up very soon. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Richie, same thing. Plugs, parting words, good sir.
Yeah, not much more to add. Keep up to date. You can catch me on Why We Love Horror. Got a match coming up there soon. New film. You can get you can catch it. Lonely Marks. We'll be doing all in predictions and a lot of predictions because we've got a lot of wrestling is coming up in the next week. It's gonna be fun, but also like
Exhausting.
tiring and exhausting.
Yes.
And so you got that. I'm looking forward to doing our worst of. It's just weird. This is weird. I don't know if I'm like a masochist. There's part of me that like enjoys talking about that almost more than talking about the best.
Me and Richie are in lock with that. Man, if I see a movie that has like 2% on Rotten Tomatoes in the theater, I run to the theater to watch that movie. I can't wait.
We're good channels for that show as well. I think.
Yeah.
Love that stuff. But so you can check that out. Other than that, I pop up here and there on Movie Hero and JPO's couple of channels here, and
All right, so Richie, thanks for everyone in the chat throwing out your list there. Appreciate that. If you're watching this on replay, let me know your list as well if to hear it. And now let's go to someone that was at least in one of my favorite films of the year. Take it away, Jim.
Thank you. Fuck you. Bye. Boom.